New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DEFEND to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on anything. That's code DEFEND. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over and physically present in Ohio. Valid one offer per first-time depositors who have not already redeemed $200 in free bets via pre-launch offer. Minimum $5 deposit and wager. $200 issued as bonus bets. Eligibility restrictions apply. See dkng.co/OH for terms.
Hello, and welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. Here we go. Welcome. Glad you are here. Doing the show once again in the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. Plans for travel in the summer. Southwest Colorado, Mesa Verde National Park. The Pueblo Indians set up shop and built an entire city in like a chiseled city, into the side of a mountain. They lived there like for a long, long time, and then finally they like bugged out and left. Like, oh fuck it, it's too cold here, and I don't know the reason why they left, but it was like a fantastic a shelter for them. This stone city, and then they left it. Kenny says, "I know that name. Better Call Saul." Yes, that's the name of the company, Mesa Verde. That Kim Wexler. We're going to Mesa Verde. It's going to be freaking awesome. Mesa Verde National Park. That's a new one. Never been there. And that is just to the north of the Navajo Nation, which is massive. The Navajo Nation is like pieces of 4 states, an unbelievable amount of territory that these people have, their own nation. I know that because I saw that show on AMC. What the fuck was it called? Dark Skies? Oh, my God. It's fantastic. So it's kind of like desolate there, but I'm looking forward to it. Finalizing the plans right now. My brain's kind of going in like 10 different directions today because there's a lot in the works that's happening. There's plans next week for your old pal Eric Zane to be on the Huge Show all during the week. Occasionally I'll get this phone call. Hey, Brett's going to be gone. Superfly Hayes is going to be gone. Can you be in the studio with me? I'm like, well, yeah, sure. I can do that. But I'm always like, why? I mean, Brett isn't like someone that you talk to during the show. I think, honestly, all he needs me to do is go let his guests in or get his guests on the phone for him. Like, why can't you just take a commercial break, go down the steps, meet the person in the lobby and escort him up? What the fuck? Why is that so hard? No idea. He pays me. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Not doing it for free, but yeah, I'll definitely do it. So next week, that's how it's going to be. Tyler says he just wants to hang out with you. You mean because like I'm so cool? Honestly, though, we have so much fun together doing that show because it's just fucking ball busting. It is, I tell you, I don't know if we'd survive doing a show together regularly. We might implode. But for a short period of time, we have success. I think we burn hot and fast, and then that's it. So 1 week is that's it. Anything more than that's trouble. Aram with a funny line. Any big interviews like the local high school lacrosse coach. Shit. I wonder if I can get his ass up. There's no way I can get him on this early. Let's try it. Let us try it. Statewide web address. Hey, Eric. Quack, quack. Tyler writes, he secretly hopes that your amazing radio skills will rub off on him when interviewing his Eastern Michigan women's basketball insider. Amanda says, you should make the return of guy stuff. And I'm glad you mentioned that. What I learned about guy stuff is when we first discovered guy stuff, it was so much fun. And then every time we did it after that, it wasn't as much fun. I think we kind of caught lightning in a bottle. And I actually want to play guy stuff for you right now. I recently featured it on the Lost to Zane recordings. Thank you to Chris for pointing it out to me. And by the way, if you're ever listening to the Lost to Zane recordings on Patreon and you hear something that you think it would be fun, because I don't listen to those shows, you know. And if you hear something funny that my attention is needed to know that it's there, please let me know. But I listened back to guy stuff, and I enjoyed listening to it, and I want to play it for you. Audio check. Let's see here. Okay, this is guy stuff. Now, I featured it recently, like I said, on Lost Zane Recordings, and then I featured it in a Lost Zane Recordings free view. So this is me in current time setting up the bit. So I got to bounce ahead from that. All right, and a classic, Julius does the sport. We said, all right, fine. So the story goes, you know what? I'm going to leave this in here because it sets up the story. All right, and a classic bit of micromanaging on WBBL. The bosses said, we want some heavy metal music when Julius does the sports. And we're like, well, that's going to sound like shit. Like, no, we want this to reflect the attitude of the station. We said, all right. By the way, what a dumb concept. Fine. So from that, the bit Guy Stuff was born. And this is how it happened. Here it is on the Lost Zane Recordings, full show.
Last night after losing to the Carolina Hurricanes 4-1, Pistons lost their fifth in a row. They fell to the Miami Heat 97-96. The Drive beat the Red Claws 107-95. Tigers beat the Yankees 6-3. They play the Phillies tonight, or this afternoon rather. Keep saying tonight. Griffins return to action tonight against the Admirals at 7, and the Pontiac Silverdome will be torn down. Demolition.
In case you're wondering what's going on, we decided to, we all play instruments here. We kind of kept that low for a long time. And engineer behind the scenes, Dave Grant, is terrific as a technical musical producer. He also plays instruments too. He's kind of like Rick Rubin. And we just renovated the second floor of the building here to accommodate a sound studio. So if we ever do a live show, things like that, we head down to the second floor and do our thing. And so now Dave's got instruments laying all over the place. So yesterday, Ben sat down at the drum kit and started hammering out a beat. And then Bill and I picked up these two guitars, two Flying V's. And then Julius, and there was a nice Les Paul, and he started to play the rhythm here. And Dave Jackinette was playing bass. So we were able to bust out a new music bed that we decided to incorporate right away into sports. And so then we started playing it, And that morphed into the discussion of like, this is like a really heavy driving beat.
Yeah. Body hair.
Buffet. Pepperoni. Guys, things, men.
Meat lover. Not that way.
No condoms. Illegitimate kids, guys. This broke out into a rip-roaring edition of a thing that we called guy stuff. And
how did we even come up with that?
I think it just manifested somehow magically on the radio. Isn't that right, Ben?
Yeah. It was amazing.
There was that song. Now, that one we titled Metal Hangover.
That's right.
And then after the dust settled, Grant goes, well, you're not leaving here until I get another music bed, because you can't.
Boy.
You can't. I mean, Metallica didn't just have Enter Sandman. There was, The Unforgiven was.
There was that other song.
There was plenty more Metallica. So he said, Dave, we don't want to do it anymore. We're not feeling it. And he said, well, I locked the doors. You're not leaving here until you give me some more metal.
He said there's going to be a showdown if you guys don't.
We said, all right, Dave, we'll bust it out. This one is called the Heavy Showdown. This is us.
You can hear Michelle. What?
Brass knuckles.
You can actually hear Dave. You can hear Dave. If you listen closely to the beginning of that, you can hear Dave. Listen. Right there. That's him.
Explosions.
Things with buttons.
Sliced alone.
Trucker hats.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Mountain Dew.
Star Wars.
NASCAR.
Star Wars.
Guys. Ooh. Sports.
Aviators.
Trucker hat. Damn it.
Acid wash. Guys. Oh.
Skinner.
Oh. Jolt Cola. Notos. The entire trucking industry. America. Hillary Clinton.
Like a record scratch.
That laugh.
Milkshakes. Campfires.
Beef jerky.
Sand dunes.
Chainsaw.
Birch trees.
Battle axe.
Skinny jeans. Dave Grant.
Dave Grant.
Dave Jack and Nut.
Steroids. Cocaine.
Mark McGuire.
Guy stuff.
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon.
Portable grill.
Ice skating.
Flamethrower.
Napalm. Vietnam. Things. So we couldn't be more delighted with how that worked out. Dave mixed it down, and now a bit is born. And
That
looking back,
fucking laugh.
we didn't think it was going to work out quite as well as it did. So
Tim Stevens actually brought one up.
Yeah.
If Doan was still around, I assume he would be playing the skin flute.
This penis.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I'm so sorry.
Fender. Bender. Stratocaptor.
Pickup truck.
Car accidents.
Math.
Math. You say math or meth?
Angel dust.
guys, men, Bush, Hamtramck, Polacks. What? All right. That is it. All right. Fuck. Yeah, to me, that's a one and done. I put such a high value on Ben's laugh.
Stone was still around. I assume he would be playing the skin flute.
This penis.
God damn.
I don't get it.
That fucking laugh. Jesus. Worth its weight in gold. I think, honestly, if we were still on the radio, it's like, well, you can never get rid of him. You can never get rid of him because of the laugh. The wheezy, muttly laugh cracks me up, says Tyler. Yeah, it's true. Oh, my God. So tonight, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast happens where he always laughs like that. That happens tonight. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. All right. Again, if you're ever listening on the Lost Zane recordings, let me know something you heard. It's like, oh, God, this was funny, Eric Zane. Okay. For you folks that are enjoying the show on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, it's time to set you free. If you want the full show, go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live for this show in its entirety. So the folks on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, I'm going to send you on your way. You can also download the audio podcast wherever you download shows. Send me an email on the Shortliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. There they go. Goodbye. Cade, welcome back. Cade's finally back. Been a hell of a week. Glad you are here. Aram says, if anyone wants to volunteer to do show notes, I'm sure we would appreciate it. No, it's okay. You don't have to do that. Just let me know when something funny happens. God, that was a dark, dark period of time. That was very, very odd back then. I'm glad that we've put distance between us. Okay, Facebook and Twitter brought to you by... Sorry, Facebook and Twitch, I always screw this up. Brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter, brought to you by Blue Frost IT. And YouTube, brought to you by Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance. Does the name George Santos ring a bell? Boy, you know, this could have been so simple. Run for public office, newly minted member, rookie, freshman member of the House of Representatives, out of some district in New York. No one knows who you are. You win. But the problem is, all you've done leading up to getting elected is lie about like everything. Jesus. And the lies keep coming back around. This guy, George Santos. He is by the way, he's kind of a rarity because he's a Republican gay guy. So there's that. This is a clip of Nassau County Republican Party Chair Joseph Cairo. So this is another Republican, and all the Democrats can't stand this guy because he's a Republican, and even the Republicans cannot stand George Santos because he's lying about everything. And so now it's become kind of like a joke of when you sit back and go over George Santos's history, and everybody just kind of laughs in his face. Audio check, video check. This is the guy, Republican Party Chair Joseph Cairo, saying George Santos claimed he had been a volleyball star at Baruch College. He didn't even attend Baruch College and led his team to a league championship. I want you to pay special attention because this guy here is talking to the mic. And then at the end of this, watch these old timers in the background just start laughing hysterically about these lies. It's just hysterical that they're like, oh, yeah, fucking bullshit.
Could you just explain
explain what was on that resume?
Well, to my recollection, it said he went to Baruch College, said he went to NYU. He later, or perhaps at the interview, I didn't attend it, that he sought a master's degree, said that he worked in finance. I don't recall, was it Citigroup, I think. Said he was very successful, told me personally that he had made a lot of money at that age and was successful in life. We got into it, started getting personal about the fact that he came from a poor background, but that he was able to be very successful. Told me, I remember specifically, I'm into sports a little bit, that he was a star on the Baruch volleyball team and that they won the league championship.
Look at these guys.
What can I tell you?
They're all cracking up. They're like, ah, ha, ha. What a crock of shit. Oh, my God. It doesn't end there, though. You can look up. Here's every single lie told by George Santos. He lied about where he went to high school. And where he went to college. Never worked on Wall Street. Talks about where did his money come from. And they're starting to look at how he raised funds and campaign finance shit and starting to look closer at that because all these lies may or may not keep him from doing his job. He's still an elected official, and I don't think he has to step down. But all of his counterparts in the Republican Party are saying, look, you got to step down. And I don't think he's going to. But this might get a little weird. When he first ran for Congress in 2020, he filed a disclosure showing a salary of $55,000, working as a vice president at a business development company called Link Bridge Investors, where he says he introduced investors to hedge fund managers. Now, these are all terms that I've heard when watching documentaries about Bernie Madoff. Soon after that failed run, he started working at a Florida investment firm called Harbor City Capital, where he was employed there in 2020. He managed a $1.5 billion hedge fund and bragged of record returns of 12 to 26%. That's like Madoff, depending on the type of investment. That year, according to CNN, a customer told Santos that the company's promise that they had a full bank guarantee on investments was bogus. Deutsche Bank claims it a complete fraud and not signed by the bank officer on the document. They wrote Santos replied they were 100% legitimate. But in April of 21, the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, accused Harbor City of being a Ponzi scheme that stole $17 million from investors. The company's assets are currently in mediation with an independent receiver appointed to manage them. Well, that's the biggest fucking thing right there. He wasn't, though, but he was not accused of wrongdoing by authorities. And the next month, he incorporated his own company called Devolder. In an interview with Semaphore, he said he helped rich people buy the expensive toys they wanted. And there's more about that that's boring. Now, here's another thing. He lied about founding an animal charity. His campaign bio claimed he ran a foundation called Friends of Pets United, saving 2,500 dogs and cats between 2013 and 18. But there were no social media accounts for the organization, no IRS records, no evidence of the charity being registered in New York and New Jersey, where Santos claimed to have operated. New York Times found that Friends of Pets United held one fundraiser with a rescue group in New Jersey in 2017, for which he charged $50 to enter. But the group that threw the event said it never received any funds and that Santos made up several excuses for why he didn't have the money. It gets worse. There was a veteran, a disabled dude, who had a service dog, this pit bull, and the dog was sick, and it needed a surgery to save it. It had some type of cancer. The veteran's name is Richard Osthoff, and he is making the rounds now, this Richard Osthoff, about how Santos stole the money. And he appeared on CNN, audio check, video check. This is the dude.
Times. When I first got out of the service, I was depressed. I was having nightmares.
By the way, that's the urn of the dog that did not make it. Uh-oh.
Bad memories about some things that happened. Not war-related, but other things that the military does to you. I started drinking too much. I was doing reckless stuff. My father even told me he thought I had a death wish at that point. And I probably did. I was very suicidal. I would start crying for no reason. And if I didn't have that little princess with me, I probably would have not been here to speak to you right now, at least 2 times. I would think about her, and I said, nobody else is going to be her daddy. That's my dog. And I'd go and I'd cuddle her, and I'd snuggle up with her, and all the bad stuff went away.
I think that anybody who leaves the service, it should be like a prerequisite. At the end of their service, they are handed a dog. Just take the dog. Let's get out in front of this. You need a dog. Dogs and military veterans leaving the service need to have these animals. Just give them the dog. Give them 2.
And at what point did you all realize that Anthony DeVolder,
which is George
Santos,
there you go,
an elected,
A week ago.
A week ago.
A week ago. I started seeing his face on
and to be clear,
cable
obviously
news.
you're not following politics. You're not, right? So it's just like you kind of stumbled across his face in a news
Right.
story.
I mean, I watch the news all the time. Kind of a hobby. I love my YouTube news. But I saw his face and I knew I sort of recognized him a little bit because we had been Facebook friends while the campaign was going on. So I knew what he looked like. And I knew his voice, and that was the only thing I knew about him. And I saw him on TV, and I was like, I got a feeling in the pit of my stomach about this guy. Who is he, and why do I recognize him? And then that was in December, right around Christmas time. Just about a week ago, he was in the Capitol, and there was a bunch of reporters following around, asking us questions. Like, that's about the only thing you see him, anymore. And one of them said, "What's your name today? Is it Anthony DeVolder or is it George Santos?"
So it's so you had the pit in your stomach in December,
Holy
and then
shit.
that name was said
Correct.
a week ago.
Right.
Then you realized.
I was sick. Yeah.
Wow.
To see that somebody like that could do something that dastardly could raise to such high position, and that shouldn't be right. That shouldn't happen.
So let me ask you each. Don Lemon reached out to Santos, to George Santos, and got him to respond to you.
And he told me, he said I was fake, and it didn't. Yeah, I read that.
Let me read it so if everyone can hear, and I want to give you each a chance to respond to it. He said, I have no clue what he's talking about. And the crazy part is that anyone that knows me knows I'd go to hell and back for a dog, and especially a veteran. So this is just more of the pile-on effect. I have dozens of people reaching out to me in support, sharing their stories about their dogs and cats that I helped save and rescue. What do you each say to that?
Prove it. Show us. He should show us if he has all these people that reach out to him and that love what he does and stuff. It's not. No.
I'm coming here staking my name of our charity on this. I back Rich 100% on this. There's no doubt in my mind that this was done, and it's horrible that this veteran has to go through this. Veterans, we lose them 22 a day, and our charity does whatever we can to prevent that from happening and work with other people and really rely on other charities. When a charity does something like this, another one, it just causes more problems for us to get the mission of saving our veterans' lives. And it's disgusting, and it's unfortunate that this happens in 2023 still to this day.
Okay, so you might be like, what exactly did he do? Well, he had a
companies know that
he made a fundraiser for this guy, for the veteran there, and then took the money. He swindled it. Let's see. Yeah. The dog had a tumor, continued to grow. It was diagnosed in 2015, continued to grow in 2016. The veteran, Osthoff, said he was homeless, living in a tent at the time after losing his job and house. Osthoff's mentor and friend, Michael Bull, the guy you also saw there in that clip, the bald dude, told CNN he took Osthoff under his wing as part of the charity's mentorship program and tried to get vet care for the dog. Bull said a mutual friend connected the two veterans with Santos, who told them Santos was frequently involved with helping and rescuing animals. At the time, he was known as Anthony DeVolder. Santos, set up a GoFundMe for Osthoff's pit bull, Sapphire. A post from the Facebook profile of Anthony DeVolder links to a GoFundMe raising surgery funds for the dog. Sapphire is a 10-year-old red-nosed pit bull that has been keeping this man company. She does not deserve to die because of this tumor. She deserves to be treated and cared for, the Facebook post reads in part. Will you help this baby and her daddy stay together for a few more years? Does he not deserve to have her? Let's all come together to help this family of two stay healthy, the post says. The fundraiser did raise the money, but things went south after Osthoff tried to access the funds. He's like, okay, we got the money. Great. Can I take it and go to the vet and get my dog the care? Santos became uncooperative. According to Osthoff and Bull, at first saying Osthoff needed to take his dog to a veterinary clinic of Santos's choice, then claiming another clinic wouldn't accept Santos's form of payment. So Osthoff is saying that it's like getting difficult. I keep having to jump through hoops, and time is passing. He provided text exchanges between him and Santos. At the time, again, he thought it was Anthony DeVolder. And DeVolder keeps kicking the can down the road, procrastinating. I'm starting to feel like I was mined for my family and friends' donations, Santos tells him. After Osthoff says, I'm starting to feel like I was mined for my family and friends' donations. Santos tells him that because his dog is not a candidate for surgery, the funds are moved to the next animal in need, and we will make sure we use of resources to keep her comfortable. Because Santos said that they had ruled out the surgery, and he made up some excuse as to why the dog couldn't be treated. And the guy was like, Jesus, I'm sick of being jerked around, which Santos replies, remember, it is our credibility that got GoFundMe that serves them to contribute. We are with the highest standards of integrity. So basically, he got the money to be raised and then took the money. And so now this guy is telling his story, but that is just sickening. Holy shit. So the dog ends up dying. And this guy, it's a white knuckle ride for these veterans. You talk about panic attacks and anxiety. It's like that times 1,000 for these poor sons of bitches. And I like how he described that a lot of times with veterans, it isn't so much if they're in combat and shit like that. It's just some people are more fragile than others, and the extremes that you have to go through in the military puts a lot on a person. That's just the way of doing business on a day-to-day process is fucking bizarre, and it affects people in a strange way. Santos, more lies. This one is being talked about now. And it had come up in the past, but now it's kind of recirculating almost like it's new news again. But I remember talking about this. Santos said his mom was at the World Trade Center on 9/11. And now records are showing that she wasn't even in the United States. She was in Brazil. Remember, he said also he was Jewish. He's not. He's Catholic. And he said, no. What I meant to say was I am Jew, Jew-ish. I'm Jew-ish. I'm a little Jewy is what I'm saying. Not even in the fucking country. The mother's name is either Fatima or Fatima DeVolder. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'll say Fatima. Fatima DeVolder applied for a U.S. visa in 2003, and she was in Brazil. On Santos' own website, when he was running for this seat, wrote, my mom was in the South Tower on September 11th. Not true. In a July 2021 tweet, damn it, Santos said, 9/11 claimed my mom's life. Not true. Holy shit. Other than the torrent of stunning headlines, Santos's penchant for lying hasn't derailed his nascent Capitol Hill career yet. He's found a few defenders among fellow scandal-plagued House Republicans. You know, Kevin McCarthy, Matt Gaetz. Jesus Christ. You know you're fucking falling apart when you've got McCarthy, Gaetz, and what's the name of the bimbos? You got the brunette and the blonde. The blonde is Marjorie Taylor Greene. And what's the brunette? And I guess the brunette and the blonde are now fighting. I forgot her name. She wears the glasses. Bobart, is that it? Oh, my God. So if they're rushing to your defense, it's pretty fucked up. Holy shit. George Santos, this is fantastic. You know what? I say quit asking him to step down. Let it go, because this is entertaining. You need to back off of that and just let this unfold. He's probably going to end up throwing himself off a building or a bridge at some point. All right. Join me on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. More podcasting each and every day. You got the daily Patreon bonus. You've got Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia, which, by the way, did you hear Dale? God, I gotta get that clip. Dale, I guess, frequents the X's and Bros show, which is a morning show on 96.1. That's the station that Bill's flagship is on. I think I retweeted this. There it is. The X's and Bros show. Dale calls in and talks sports with these guys. And this is the guy that I do. My voice is heard like when this guy's coming back from commercial. X's and Bros. Coming up right here on this station or something like that. I recorded a bunch of voice work for it. That's what Dale is referencing here. And I guess Dale very often frequents this show, weighing in with, like, you know, sports talk and shit like that, because Dale knows he loves following sports. So this is what happened.
Paintball with Eric Zane last night. I heard him doing the promo for your...
Oh, yeah, my guy.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, me and him, I do his podcast every week.
Oh, that's
so I don't know if you guys
fantastic.
ever listen. Do you know any idea who I am, Throw/Dale?
No. You're Dale in Muskegon.
Okay, because you're Dale in Muskegon. So this dude here, Bellino, he's not. He just knows that there's a guy that calls the show who's got kind of like a raspy voice. He doesn't have any idea about the history of Dale. Well, that's the wrong thing you want to say, because that means he's going to talk nonstop and tell you who he is, and you're not going to get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, I'm also Throw/Dale from his show. Like, I got stabbed in the throat. That's why I talk crazy like this. I did 16 years in prison for selling drugs, and I got stabbed when I was in prison. So that's why I talk all raspy like this. So I got the nickname on the show, Throw/Dale. And we wound up becoming friends, and now I do his podcast every Tuesday. Are you smarter than a former drug dealer with Throw/Dale?
Wow.
Yeah, that's my guy.
What a story.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. Hey, listen, if you guys ever want to hear, I spoke at schools. I spoke at Kentwood, East Kentwood, once a year, twice a year. 2 years ago, COVID has stopped it. I spoke for the police department.
So look at Bellino. He wants to jump in, but that's impossible. That is a difficult thing to do, to jump in on Dale when he's trying to make a point.
I do speaker meetings for AA and stuff, so, you know, I'm definitely not a boastful human being, but I got a pretty good story if you guys ever want to hear it, or if there's a way to get it out, man. I work with a lot of at-risk youth, you know, you probation kids. I get to go to youth homes and stuff and speak to children and tell my story, you know. I mean, it's pretty so 5 years ago, I was homeless. I was living in an abandoned house in downtown Muskegon, and now I own my own successful business. I've been sober 5 years. Like, I've changed my life. I turned it over to God and AA. So, if you guys ever want
shout out to you, Dale. There we go. Dale in Muskegon. Wow.
Hey, if you guys ever want to hear the long version, man, I've done the podcast. You can catch it on there, give you the episodes or something. I've done a few hours on there, different times. So the story's out, man. If you guys ever want to hear more of it, I'm always willing to tell it to people, man. If it helps one person, it's a blessing.
I appreciate that, Dale. Thank you so much, my friend. Have a great Monday.
Yeah, you guys too, man.
All right, partner.
Quite the story from Dale.
Some wild turn.
They don't know what to. They don't know what to do with Dale. Did you hear that pause? Like, what the fuck just happened? Holy shit!
Too, man.
All right, partner.
Quite the story from Dale.
Some wild turns there.
Dude, I've known Dale's been
roller-
calling into the show since 2017.
I was at a roller coaster of emotion right there. It's just the ebbs and flows. The ebbs and flows.
Yeah. Dale is the equivalent of like a car that has the ability to go 0 to 100 in like 2.5 seconds. Wham! Oh, God. Stevie writes, damn, I didn't know Dale did all of that outreach. Very cool. No, he is truly an incredible story. And he kind of did it all. He did it all on his own. The idea that, you know what, this is ridiculous. I got to stop living life this way. And he, when he was prior to being busted, he was so wealthy. Oh my God! Like buying Corvettes with cash, buying homes all over. I mean, seriously, Dale was one of the biggest drug lords in the state of Michigan, and his distribution was far-reaching. And he was describing to me that despite faced with a long prison term, he never spoke out. He never turned on anybody, which they put in front of him about, flipping, so that the authorities could get a bigger fish. And he said, fuck that. I want to live. And he did not flip. Instead, he did the time. And then a couple times he got out of prison and then went back into prison. And, Kenny says, can you be a drug lord without killing anyone? I don't know. And I couldn't tell you what exactly Dale's done in his life. Kent says there needs to be a Netflix documentary on Dale. Oh, my God, you're not kidding. And then finally one day he put his foot down and turned it around. And Jesus, I would trust him with my kids. He's absolutely fantastic. The guy is an absolute gem. Fantastic human being, and just a true inspiration. His stick-to-itiveness and his hard work, absolutely incredible. The look on Bellino's face when Dale was just going nuts, telling all those details about him. My God, was just awesome. All right, I started talking about Patreon, and then I got as far as Dale, and then there I went. That's how this show goes. Anyway, sign up for Patreon. I appreciate it. Listener-supported, ad-free Patreon. The open and live stream of today's show brought to you by A&E Heating and Cooling. Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. At some point, you are going to need to call him because something's going to happen with your furnace or your AC. Now, it is important that each year you have Joe Martinez and his crew from A&E Heating and Cooling service your furnace or your AC. So twice a year you see them. $79 for the furnace to get that cleaned, inspected, tuned, running right, running efficient. Okay, very, very important. Heating your home is dirty business. And that thing, if you don't do that, you're really walking a fine line. You could have an issue where it breaks down because you haven't maintained it. Joe Martinez can do all that. 616-516-8579. If things go south, he can show up and fix it. Scheduled maintenance or maybe some type of repair and an after-hours service call if you need that. That might cost you a little bit, but he can get your heat back on. 616-516-8579. M37 Hackers, the newest golf simulation business in West Michigan. Head over to M37 Hackers and check them out. Facebook page, just search M37 Hackers. 269-205-2095. Right along M37 in Middleville. You can't miss them. Middleville is not a big place. M37 Hackers is right near the grocery store, right next to it there. This is a small community, but this is a fantastic place. They have 2 golf simulator bays there. They got the putting green. They have, that is known as Middleville's largest indoor putting green. Set a record for size of a putting green. Incredible. You've got the chipping bays. You can practice your chipping. Not to mention the 2 golf simulator bays where you can play any golf course in the world with just the press of a button. There's a camera down where your club head hits the ball so you can see what you're doing wrong. So if you swing, the ball goes flying and it slices horribly. You're like, what did I do wrong? And then you look at the screen, you hit the replay button, and then it shows what you did so that you can correct it. You really can work the bugs out of your game in a golf simulation setting. And it's much cheaper at M37 Hackers than it is at X Golf, and you're supporting a sponsor of the Eric Zane Show podcast. You can call them for a reservation and rent that thing out for an hour. It's $40. 269-205-2095. 269-205-2095. $40 an hour. It's $60 an hour if you go to X Golf. Fuck those guys. Go to M37 Hackers. And there's all sorts of leagues and things you can sign up for. You can sign up for a membership, which is going to save you a lot of money whenever you use the facilities. And you can participate in all these tournaments that they have. It's really fantastic. Or just bring a bunch of buddies, rent it out for a couple hours, bring some beers in a cooler. You can't buy beer there, but bring your beers in a cooler and you can just knock back your own. That's how they do it there. M37 Hackers, 269-205-2095. All right, I'm going to take a break. I would say I'm 75% recovered. I felt like shit yesterday after an hour and a half, and I bailed on the rest of the show. I'm going to try to get through the whole show today. But I'm going to take a break now. So don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Okay, it's time to cut through the clutter with all of the information about online betting. MyBookie. That's all you need to know. MyBookie. New year, new you. When I say new you, I mean because you're going to MyBookie. Give yourself a fresh start with MyBookie. Whether you bet to earn, which some people do because they're good at it, or just to have some fun, MyBookie gives you the most for your money with their redesigned deposit bonus. Just use promo code ZANE on a deposit of $50 or more to receive a cash bonus instantly to your MyBookie account. Try it out. MyBookie. Promo code ZANE. Using this bonus is simple. Bet your deposit amount just once and you're ready to cash out. It's no strings attached with MyBookie. Promo code ZANE. Bet on the NFL, UFC, play for a share of big cash prizes in the weekly online blackjack tournaments. You name it, MyBookie has you covered. With so many brands to choose from, you need a platform that makes it simple to bet and win. Like MyBookie, promo code ZANE. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Okay, I feel like I've made it because every time I turn on whatever podcast, the big famous shows are talking about HelloFresh. Well, guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, I've partnered with HelloFresh. Now, I've experienced this myself, and I'm telling you, it's fantastic. Holy cow. You just pick what you want to eat. The box shows up at your house with everything you need to make an absolutely fantastic meal. How often have I talked with you about how much I love to work in the kitchen and make fantastic meals? But the problem with that is there's a little bit of extra work involved with like the research and then going to the store and then buying all the stuff. And then like life gets in the way and you never make it and everything rots in the fridge and it's all stupid and you hate your life. And then you never do it again. And then you eat like a jackass. Well, how about we forget all of that and you just open up your door, walk outside and grab a box filled with particular portions, exact sizes of what you need to make some of the best food you will ever have. And it's like you're a star because you plate the food and then you pass it off to your family. And they're like, who are you? We had no idea you had the ability to make such great food. That's because they specifically tell you the instructions for each of the fantastic meals that you can make with HelloFresh. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, this is great. So all this time you've been going out, you've been eating out, you've been spending a ton of cash. How about you make gourmet recipes and you do it? Maybe you do it as a process with other members of your family. It's so much fun, man. Forget about spending all that money on expensive food. Make fast, fresh, amazing recipes with HelloFresh. My gosh, you got to do this. The box shows up and then off you go. Man, I love HelloFresh. This is what I want you to do. I want you to try it out. Go to HelloFresh.com/Zane21. 21 because that's what I look like. I'm 21. HelloFresh.com/Zane21 and use the code Zane21. And then you get, you guessed it, 21 free meals plus free shipping. What a deal. If you're listening to me right now and you don't try this, you're crazy. We're giving you free food. HelloFresh.com/Zane21. Use the code Zane21 and 21 free meals plus free shipping. It doesn't get more perfect than this. My gosh, I love you. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Okay? I love HelloFresh. You will too. Check it out online. HelloFresh.com/Zane21. Use code Zane21 for 21 free meals plus free shipping. Go do it. All right. I'm back. Was helping out Jacqueline yesterday. She recovering from her fifth knee surgery. On the previous ones, the rebuilds, total knee or ACL knee reconstruction, what they do is they go into a portion in the back of your leg where there is, ligament redundancy, and they harvest it from the back of your leg and create a new ACL. She's had so many knee surgeries, though, she has no more redundancy. So they had to use, she has no more ligaments to give herself. So they had to use a cadaver ligament. And so they rebuilt the knee again. And now the recovery begins. So I was at her house yesterday because she couldn't be alone after the surgery. Justin went to work. So after this show, I went over there while she rested. And I caught up. I was watching a show that I saw on Netflix, documentary style. There's 2 seasons of it. There's only like 4 episodes per season, 8 total episodes. So it's not even basically a season. But the show is called Catching Killers. And it's all about, in some of the most prolific serial killer stories, interviewing the police who had to track down the bad guy. And some unbelievable cases. One case was about Eileen Wuornos, who is a female serial killer, the United States' first woman serial killer. She was put to death. BTK, they talked about BTK and how they caught him. And this is a trailer for that. This show's been around for a little more than for about a year and a half. But you might want to check this out. This is a great show.
Walking up to this crime scene after 30 years, the sad part that somebody lost their life right here a few feet from us, it just kind of rushes over you.
The first indication of the body was the smell of decomposition in the air.
There was a rope around her neck.
There's a guy out here who's killing prostitutes. They didn't think it would happen to them.
The pieces were all starting to fit together. DNA was not advanced enough yet to develop a DNA profile.
In each case, 22 caliber weapons were used.
That was my first homicide crime scene. I don't know how I felt. I'm not going to get through this.
The so-called happy face killer. The Green River Killer.
She was my first, and I thought I would not do it again, but I was wrong.
Seems like a lot of rage. There was a lot of anger in the way the crime was committed.
As long as we have unidentified victims, we're not done.
You'll see headlines in the paper, in the media, and they're always talking about the suspects, and the victim's the forgotten person.
The constant thought is, what are we missing? Always hoping that no one else gets killed.
I'm thinking, not another one. Not another one.
When you see something like that, it has some effect on you. If it doesn't, in my opinion, you're not human.
When they were talking about BTK, which to me is one of the most fascinating things, they were discussing how he went silent for like 20, 25 years in the Wichita area. And then one day he just decided to reach out to like the TV station or the newspaper or something like that and started corresponding with them. And he was leaving all sorts of clues. There were cereal boxes. And he was like taunting the cops and shit. And he revealed to them, did you catch the clue at the Home Depot? And they're like, what? And he would, he wanted them to correspond through like a want ad, the police. And they said, no, we didn't catch that clue. So then they went over to the Home Depot and they're looking at down aisles of the Home Depot, figuring out what he's talking about. And then they find out that one of the workers figured it out. He came in his pickup truck when he was getting ready to leave. There was a cereal box in the back of his pickup truck, and he didn't know what the fuck it was. So he called the cops because he figured out they were looking. He said, oh, yeah, hey, you know what? Because they were, like, looking for him. And so the cops show up, and they realize that if they look at the surveillance, they can probably see a car belonging to BTK and the guy throwing the cereal box into the back of the truck. And sure enough, they found that, so they got, like, a vehicle, a Jeep Cherokee. So they go, all right, he fucked up. Now we know his car. And that's all we know. And then BTK sent a notice that he has found his next victim. So they're like, oh, shit, man, we're running out of fucking time. And he said, I have found him, and I am hunting this person. And it's a kid. So they're like, holy shit. And then he sends correspondence and says, can I send you a floppy disk with more correspondence? He loves this. He's a narcissist, so he loves like playing this game with them. That's how fucked up this guy is. And it says, be honest. Can I send you a floppy disk and not be detected? And this is fuck up number 2. Again, like technology has passed him by. This is years, 25 years, and he isn't aware that there's metadata on a floppy disk, 3.5-inch disc that they used to use, which will, reveal who he is. So BTK said, respond in the newspaper and use my name, Rex. You use the name Rex. It said, Rex, it's okay. You can use a floppy. They actually wrote that in the newspaper. So no one has any idea what that means, but BTK does. So he sends them in the mail a fucking floppy disk, and they put it in there, and like a second and a half, it says that it came from Christ Lutheran Church at Dennis's desk. And they look up Christ Lutheran Church, Dennis, and the president of the church is Dennis Rader, BTK. And there's this picture. They're all gathered. All the cops are gathered around the fucking thing. And they go, there he is. Look him up, internet search, and get his address. They race over to the motherfucker's house. And the Cherokee's in the fucking driveway. And they're like, oh, shit, let's go in and shoot him. And they go, and the cop, the boss says, don't do it yet. We need more evidence. Like, what the fuck do you mean we need more evidence? This is him. He's fucking BTK. We got to go get him before he gets, fuck you. No, we can't. And so then they look, and he's got a daughter that goes to college, and they thought, well, a lot of times these chicks, they use health services for like exams, and they found out that she went to the gynecologist, and they got a warrant, and she had a pap smear, and they took the material from the pap smear and matched it to the DNA from a 1974 crime scene that had been, there was like jizz, BTK's jizz. They gathered up his jizz, and like for 30 years later, they still have test tube jizz, like literally. And they matched it to the pap smear, and the family connection was 99.9%. So they had him. And the head cop says, we're going to have the SWAT team take him down. And then the ones that were leading the investigation, they go, no, fuck you. We've been working on this for 25 years. We want to take him down. He's all right, you take him down. So they had helicopters watching him as he's coming home from work because he's a compliance officer. And they had like set up like little boundaries so he wouldn't get away. And sure enough, they showed up, and there's footage of them drawing their pistols and get out of the ground. And that was it. And then they showed the interrogation of, all right, hey, we know you're Dennis Rader, but don't play any games with us. Who are you really? And he goes, I'm BTK. And then that was it. To this day, he still sits rotting in prison. And there's rumors that this Kohlberger trial is going to reveal a connection to BTK. That Kohlberger studied other serial killers to avoid detection, which he obviously failed. Eileen Wuornos is depicted by Charlize Theron. The film Monster, Kyle Ryan talks about that. Yeah, that was a fucking amazing movie. She was great in that. Anyway, Catching Killers is on Netflix. Jesus, almost fucking slipped my mind. We have a Thursday regular that is going to join us right now on the show. The multi-talented Kyle from Dumpster Divers.
Hey, Zane.
Yo,
what's up, Dad?
We were watching recently a documentary about the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker. Are you familiar with that?
Oh, I did see that on Netflix, and I remember that like those like little videos from on Facebook, like from whenever that was. But I didn't watch it yet, but I do want to watch it.
Audience members say that guy reminds them of you.
Oh, because of the way he talks and stuff?
Yes.
Well, I don't own a hatchet, and I've never wielded it on anybody, but I can see it.
Can you surf or ride a skateboard?
No, I'm too uncoordinated for that. I've tried, actually I never tried surfing, but I've tried skateboarding, and I just can't do it, dude.
Yeah, that's all a Michigan thing. This guy's West Coast, so.
Yeah. Plus, it's just like a personal life rule for good old Kyle here, which is don't fucking skateboard, dude, because you fucking hurt yourself, and it's unnecessary, dude.
Did your parents make you wear a helmet when you were growing up?
On my bike for like. Oh shit! This would be a good research project to ask my mom. But when I could stop wearing a helmet, but I did wear a helmet for a while there. But then it hits, it hits that age where you're like, I don't gotta fucking wear a helmet no more. But then you're like nowadays, sometimes I'll see people riding bikes and they're like an adult family and they all have helmets on. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I do that. That's me. I do that. If I'm on anything, any wheeled thing, I put a helmet on.
Well, right on. That's to each their own. To me, if I saw you, I'd yell. If I was driving by and I saw you out the window, I'm like, come on, Eric.
Yeah, I know it. But it's amazing. When we were kids in the 70s, oh my God, if you put on a helmet, you get the shit kicked out of you. I don't even think that they made. I don't even think they made helmets.
Yeah, I think helmets came around in '81. I'm pretty sure.
Right on. All right, so where has life taken you since the last time we've spoken, Kyle?
Just all sorts of places, dude. We just doing all sorts of stuff. Knocking down garages, fucking. I'm actually, right now, I'm at, downtown, like right across the street from the Bob, the hotel / condos right there at the towers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing a little project in here up on the 25th floor. So I'm just like pretending I'm rich for the week. You know what I mean? And just walking around, strutting my stuff. But I'm out of place in this motherfucker for sure.
So you have to bullshit out of a 25th floor room?
Yeah, we're knocking some stuff out of there. So yeah, it's just like me, and like we met the dude that lives here. I mean, I don't know anything about the dude, but you could tell he's got some cashola if he's buying a place on the 25th floor. But yeah, it's like whenever I walk around the premises, when I'm like walking around the grounds, I keep bumping into like rich ass old people, and they like keep making like rich people jokes to me, which I don't understand because I don't have the money to understand said jokes. Like yesterday, or maybe the day before that, I was trying to figure out where the hell I was, because there's like 2 or 3 different elevator bays in here, and they all go to different places where I need to go. And so I get in the elevator on floor 1. And there's like these 2. So there's 2 old ladies. Now, one old lady is like 100. Like, she's barely clinging on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the other lady, which maybe her daughter was like 80. Who knows? But, like, I get in the elevator and they're like, where are you going? I'm like, going to floor 2. And, like, the 100-year-old Civil War vet lady was like, she was like, oh, you could have just used the stairs for that. And then the fucking younger old ass lady was like, oh, hush. She's like, we don't even have any stairs that go there. She's like, you're fine. And like I just kind of like awkwardly was like, ha ha ha, you know what I mean? But like in my head, I'm like, listen, lady, maybe you're like super fucking loaded and that's funny to you, but I don't fucking get it, dude.
I think they wanted to have sex with you, perhaps. Okay, so have you been following the football?
You mean like the playoffs? No, dude. Once the Lions are out, I'm like, fuck it, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. I did read up on the fact that good old what's Sheila? Good old Sheila like,
Ford Ham
started commissioning like the NFL. Like, listen, dude, the Seahawks game, there was trash officiating and it screwed us. So we need to fucking do something about it. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, hell yeah, Sheila, we did get screwed out of that Seahawks game.
Oh yeah, that was horrible. That was terrible officiating. But at the end of the day, I'm still happy with what the Lions did.
Yeah, we got some good things. And then I read so I said I don't follow up on football, but I do read various things about the Lions. So I did read that like 3 of the vets that we have that were relatively good this season, they told Brad Holmes, they're like, listen, dude, we'll come back next year. We'll take, less money or whatever. And I'm like, hell yes, dude. That's what we need. Like a bunch of good vet role players taking discounts, and we'll fucking sign some big ass dudes with some big ass cash, and we'll be fucking solid next year, dude.
I was reading the same thing, that they have a lot of what they describe as cap space. And then, what you just said. And then they have plenty of draft picks. From the Minnesota and the Los Angeles Rams trade. So, and they're on this high. In my opinion, this is setting up for a terrific 0-17 season. This is,
oh man,
yeah.
I would be so furious, dude.
Right. I don't know if there would be any recovery after the way they finished. Started out 1-6 and then go 8-2. And almost make the playoffs, and everybody's buzzing. The fact that people are, even though they didn't make the playoffs, or still have them as one of the top 8 teams in the whole fucking league. Now we're set up for 0-17, and we need to acknowledge that could happen.
That could happen, because that's like the way it goes with the Lions. I do feel that.
Does.
We just got to see if good old Dan Campbell is different than my boy Jim Caldwell or Jim Schwartz.
Well, the thing is, and I still maintain this, Caldwell was fired because he was black. And the guy went 11-5 and took him to the playoffs. And then the next year he went 9-7, and then they fired him. You know, I mean, Dan Campbell goes 9-8, and they're acting like he's Vince Lombardi. You know, and
that was another art. I didn't read the article, but that was like the headline about how Jim Caldwell did that, and it was not good enough, but this was good enough.
It was terrible.
And, it's like it gets tricky though, because Jim Caldwell got screwed because Bob Quinn thought he was fucking a genius, but turns out Bob Quinn's just an idiot. And was trying to. Which I get, you know what I mean? Like, I guess if somebody hired me to fucking take over a team, I'd probably want to do it my way too. But then you got to undo all that mess, and who knows? It is tricky, I will say.
All right. Well, what else is going on that you want to touch on? You see anything, hear anything that you want to drop on us today, Kyle?
I did see, and I did not read the article. But I got a little chuckle. I was reading my weird-ass news stories like I generally do, and I saw this one that said I think it was like a town in Sweden or something like that, but they like basically said that, and I don't get it because I don't live in Sweden, but it was basically like you don't have to have a permit to dance anymore, and I'm pretty sure Kevin Bacon had something to do with it. You know what I mean?
So. Let's see. The government there just proposed an end to a decade-long dancing ban. The current law requires venues to apply for a special permit before even allowing patrons to dance on the dance floor.
That's fucking classic Sweden right there.
Yep, Sweden.
I'll be honest with you, I thought you laughed at the Kevin Bacon joke more. It was a fucking Footloose reference for sure.
I got it. It was fine. I mean, I'm not going to go, ha, ha.
Yeah, maybe overused.
And by the way, on this NPR thing, they threw the same joke. So.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Hey,
okay,
you know what?
Well, then that sucks.
I'm a fucking tough sell. I'm a tough sell. If you drop a joke on me, I'm like, fuck you. I'm not laughing.
I saw that one, and then the only other interesting one I saw was about how fucking, and I don't know who's doing this research. It seems like in terms of a tough sell, it seems like it'd be a tough sell to try to get grant money to do this research. But the fucking article said that somehow like jungle lizards or geckos, maybe, I think it was lizards, like jungle lizards are moving to the city somehow. And when they get to the city, their DNA has to change so they can survive in the city. So again, I don't know who the fuck's doing this research, but that seems weird. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, what kind of DNA would be? You know what I mean? Like maybe the lizards are buying packs of smokes. You know what I mean? And trying to fucking fit in. Maybe they're headed down to the local like food
bank.
This? You know what I mean?
What is this? Your goddamn stand-up routine? What are you?
No, I see interesting shit, and you're like, if I guess I could just read the fucking article like a normal person, but I'm like, no, I would rather just think of stupid ass jokes about what the hell is going on.
So basically, you read the headline and then you start working out bits for your stand-up routine.
Yeah, I just feel like I like to live in an alternate reality, and part of the alternate reality is you read news headlines and then you make your own story in your head so that you don't have to actually read what the fucking shitty ass reporters are writing.
Have you ever been working with Emilio and then he goes, "Hey, shut up"?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, no, he's more polite than that. Oftentimes, I'll tell my jokes, and if he doesn't get it, he'll just kind of like stare off into space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe just act like he didn't hear it, because he does have relatively shitty ears too.
Right. Okay. Me. I got you.
But actually, that's funny you brought him up, because we were joking the other day when we first got into this room or the apartment on the 25th floor. So Emilio is allegedly scared of heights, which I didn't really know that before. So he was like, I'm like, dude, I'd fucking love to live here, because it's got like, it's high up or whatever, but then it's got like a kind of like a all seasons room, but then it's got like a sweet ass porch, or balcony or whatever, but it's big. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, dude, I'd be out there just looking over the city. You know what I mean? Smoking a cigar or whatever. And Amelia was like, no, dude, I fucking hate heights. I could never live here. So as the day progressed, you get tired. You know what I mean? So you take a little quick break, grab something to drink, and look out the fuking windows. And like Amelia was getting like closer to the window as the days went, as the hours went on. And he was like, I still could never live here, but it is a cool view. And I made the joke to him, you just told me that. And then I looked down and see a fucking puddle of piss like underneath your body. He started laughing his ass off.
So all right, I'm glad that you're working out your tight five. The audience is sending comments like swing and a miss, and
oh yeah, you know what I mean. That's one reason I fucking never played baseball, dude. I would be swinging and missing all the fucking time.
All right. Well, I tell you what, it's always good to hear your voice. If there's anything at all, anything else going on, just let me know right now. And otherwise, I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, I don't think there's probably like a lot of stuff going on in my life, but me and Blue have a calendar that we share on the phone, which is where we're supposed to store all of our life happenings. But I'm not a calendar guy, so there's probably a lot of shit on there that I could talk about, but I fucking can't remember.
Keep us updated on the lady who was showing up, who was either a drug dealer or a hooker.
Yeah, you know what? Seriously, she might listen to the show, dude, because I haven't seen her like after that. And I think we talked about it before, like maybe her drug selling is more seasonal. Once it gets colder, it's harder for her to sell those drugs or suck those dicks or whatever she's doing. But I haven't seen her as much, so maybe she listens to the show, dude, and she's just sitting there while you're like in the parking lot while you're talking to me, and she's like, "Fuck, I gotta get the hell out of here, dude."
That sounds fantastic. Chris writes, "It's a former Zaniac."
It could be, dude. You never know.
All right. Well, I tell you what, man, I appreciate you as always. Be safe out there, okay?
All right, love you guys.
All right, man, love you. There you go, Kyle from Dumpster Divers. Always good to hear from him.
You're such a big black dick because I know you want to hear it.
Which one of you sent me a actual big black dick link? Was it Rob? God, no, I don't think it was. It's a candy big brown dick, a chocolate giant brown dick. Holy cow! All right. Very good. Thank you. Kyle from Dumpster Divers. He's awesome. All right. Tag Accounting. It is tax season 616-301-9516. Thank you to them. No matter where you are in the listening audience, reach out to Tag Accounting to get your taxes done. Okay? Mention my name when you call 616-301-9516. 9516. It's going to save you time. You're going to get more money back, and you will be so happy. Skip doing it yourself, for God's sake. And if you had somebody else do it in the past, ditch them. Call upon Tag. The Tax Hobbit wants to hear from you. 616-301-9516. Mention my name. Thank you. Irvine's Auto Repair. Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Amazingly, effectively, awesome place to get your vehicles repaired. 616-532-6600. Irvines.com. Go there. Check out the Google reviews from people that don't have a podcast talking about how awesome they are. ervines.com. Early bird drop-off, late bird pickup. You can borrow one of their loaner cars for free while your vehicle is being repaired. Whether it's preventative maintenance, oil changes, tire rotation, you name it, they will take care of it. Or if something just goes south, oh my God, I'm on the side of the road, have the tow company drop the car off at Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. If you're along 44th Street, they are 3 blocks east of 131 on the side street called Stafford. Okay. What do you say we go around the radio dial? Been a couple of days since we done that. Let's do that right now.
Our agency and the leadership. It was also a really great experience to just come and mingle with other people in the Grand Rapids community who are interested in serving in the same way.
Thank you for that. Put me down for pasta marinara. How's that?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, lucky too again.
She's got a radio voice.
Podium. We'll make sure you start on time, end on time, and maybe shed a tear in between.
Yes.
Nicolette, what else would you like to share? You, Nicolette Driggs, Development Director.
We are looking for sponsors for other events, not just our legacy
Ryan
dinner.
says, I don't like how she said marinara. Yeah, she did say that weird.
To sponsor or be involved in some of our other activities.
Bible.org or call us at 877-673-6365. Again, our website is openthebible.org and our phone number is 1-877-OPEN-365.
All right.
Pastor Colin Smith, I'm Steve Hiller. Thanks for listening, and I hope you'll join us next time.
All right, Steve. Nice job. Nice job, Steve Hiller.
This program is a listener-supported production of Open the Bible.
All right.
When are you going to start living for Christ? 3 clocks are ticking. Discover what each has to say about how you spend your time. That's next time.
We saw a Rwandan genocide between tribal parties where almost 1 million people.
A lot of heavy shit going on the radio today. Fucking A. Did you ever see that film Blood Diamond?
The controversial.
Oh my God, the scene where they're cutting off the kids' arms.
That in more recent times.
Ryan writes, vocal fry. Now some are combining nose talking with vocal fry. It's disgusting. I don't know what I hate more. Nose talking has really started to happen a lot. I know Jana from GRD does some nose talking. And then the chick on 95.7, her name is Laura. She's the worst nose talker. I want to really bad. Oh. Eddie Van Halen. I haven't heard this song since now. I don't care how many kids he touched. This is fucking great. What are they doing out of this? Here comes the fake. What do they got? I want to hear what they're doing out of this. It should fade soon.
Even if you're terrible with directions, you'll always find your favorite music right here. We're the Lakeshore's best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Sunny 92.5.
Oh, no. You can't come out of Beat It with that. Oh, fuck me. Come out of Beat It. You gotta like be bouncing off the walls. Maybe caller number 5 gets a couple movie passes or some shit.
The Q 94.5.
Oh. I don't like the station, but I love this song.
clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down.
God, I want to try
Snorefest
this.
be gone, unquote. Navage.
Oh, more black crows. On the scene. I can give you what you want, but you got to go home to me. I got some good old loving and I got some more in store. When I get to forward enough, you got to come back for more. Oh, one thing is gone by the dozen. That ain't nothing but dancing love. Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause mama, I'm sure hard to handle now. Yes, around. I don't despise the words, and I'm a man of great experience. I know you got another man, but I can love you better than him. Take my hand, don't be afraid. I'm gonna prove every word I say. I'm advertising love for free, so you can place your hand with me. Hey, what's it come along and I'm by the dozen? That ain't nothing but dancing love. Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, cause mama, I'm sure hard to handle now. Yes, around. Yeah. Jimmy's right. This is a cover song.
Really lose it.
Like they're just holding it all in.
Like somehow, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ace and TJ with Kelly.
So they're repressing something from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just too calm. How do you do that? My dad was always really calm, though. It's funny because, like, I grew up, I still...
I suspect no free beer in here.
Less now than I used to, but I used to get so pissed, like, over everything. And, you know, I'd yell at the dogs, I'd yell at the kids, whatever. I mean, I'll yell at anybody if I'm in the right mood for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take it to work, but people who are close to me, they, you know.
Ryan says he's busy getting high with his teenage
my dad
wife.
Was always calm. He worked 1 million hours a week, and he was, you know, just busting his ass, and he was always just way down here and just, okay, well, let's take care of that then.
Kind of,
he was just always
wrap your mind around the pacing of this and how slow it is.
Like you.
Yeah, could you
How do
raise your
that?
voice and make me feel loved?
Oh, no, free beer's there. Free beer's there.
I remember one or two times that he yelled at me.
Yeah.
Like when I really did stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, all right.
My issue is that I'm very
Where did that
much
go?
affected by whatever the mood in the room is.
What is this? Are they
So if
sitting
I
around
walk in
talking
the
about
room
their
and
fucking
everybody's happy
feelings?
and everything's great, then I'm like, cool, this is great. This is a good day. But if I walk in and everybody is, you know, people are pissed
They
at
are
somebody,
literally
I
talking
find
about
myself
their
taking on
fucking
the energy
feelings.
of the room.
I think I'm a mirror like that.
Yeah. And that's been difficult to try and fix.
1-800-947-3979. You can call or text. On the way. These are trends that used to be
Boy,
a thing.
this just fucking
and then they just quietly
nosedive.
Disappeared. We'll see if you can think of any
Things
next.
that were a
It is
thing.
the Free Beer and Howard Show.
Yeah, hey, coming up next, we're going to do things that were a thing, but they just quietly disappeared. Wow. Oh, I don't know. Atari. Ha ha. Rubik's Cube. No, that's still here. AIDS.
Belly fat reduces your
your show.
Belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease.
Oh, I love the way these. I don't know who this is, but I love this. Is this Lady A or Lady Antebellum? Fucking love it. Oh, big 101.3.
Nothing goes better with work than these greatest hits.
West Michigan's big 101.3. The fun hits you know.
Heard it from
a
friend who
heard it from a friend who heard it from another. You've been messing around. They send me my boyfriend. You're out there every weekend. They're talking about you and it's bringing me down. But I know the neighborhood. They talk is cheap when the story is good. And the tales go taller on down the line.
And so here Pilate is faced with Jesus.
And I want you to notice the voices
that confronted Pilate on that day. First of all, there was what I want to call the voice of reason. Look, if you will, in verse 18. The Bible says of Pilate, for he knew that for
I'm going to go to hell.
They had delivered him.
On the set may not have properly secured them, or maybe there was live ammo on set, so it's a big blame game still.
Talking about the fucking guy shot some dude in the movie. What the fuck was that one? Oh, Brian Adams. Are you kidding me? I'd do anything, whatever.
The one who was big on lockdowns, harassing her people.
Putin's right-wing
big on lockdowns,
festival.
Anti-freedom. She's stepping down out of nowhere. Al Gore, unhinged like a hanging Chad in Davos. Apparently, the Pfizer
This is the show
CEO
that I'll be the producer for $30 an hour.
A jab.
By the way, I got him up to 14. I said $25 an hour, but since I have to work with Putin, it's $30 an hour. And he went from 12 to 13, and then he went from 13 to 14. I said, you're almost halfway there. Keep at it. All right. Around the Dial brought to you by no one. If you'd like to sponsor Around the Radio Dial, by all means, get a hold of me. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. All right. In my neck of the woods, well, Kalamazoo, it's not far from here. The cops evacuated everybody. There was concern that there was some guy, I don't know if they thought he was Al-Qaeda or what, with an explosive vest. He was running around downtown Kalamazoo. Excuse me. So, called the cops. They evacuated everybody.
Reported seeing a suspicious device on a man, prompting evacuations in downtown Kalamazoo.
News 8's David Horak in our Kalamazoo studio with an update from police tonight. David.
Michelle and Brian, police say that it turns out that suspicious device is believed to be a weighted workout vest. Now, someone called 911 this morning to report a man who was wearing a suspicious-looking vest that looked like it was carrying explosives. But at that time, police evacuated people in the area of South Street near Burdick. An investigation found it was actually just a man who was exercising.
Okay. Look at this fucking thing. It looks like there's a bomb in there. What stupid fuck would run around goddamn downtown community? It doesn't matter where. And wearing this stupid thing because his workout just isn't good enough. He needs to add a weighted vest to it. What an asshole.
While wearing that weighted workout vest, KDPS posted this picture on Facebook to show folks that this is what the vest looks like. And people were allowed back in those buildings just after 11:30. Live in our Kalamazoo studio, David Horak, News 8.
Oh, yeah. I would have done the same thing if I saw somebody running around with that. You know? Can you imagine if it was actually like an Arab dude who had actually like one of those headdresses on or whatever the fuck it is as he's running around and he's listening to like his favorite Arab music and the song is called Allah Akbar as he's running around with his stupid weighted vest? Holy shit. Yeah, they should have just I'm surprised he didn't get shot. If you're running around with a weighted vest like that, and you don't think that that can be thought to be a fucking explosive device, then you're just an idiot, and you don't need to do that. Josh says the same CrossFit dickhead you'd see running around the block with medicine balls and boat anchors. You're so right. I did CrossFit for like half a year. And that's what you do. You put this big fucking weighted ball on your shoulder and go running down the street. And I remember thinking to myself, what the fuck am I doing? This is ridiculous. There's 8th Day Gym, downtown Grand Rapids. If you want to be a CrossFit dickhead, that's where you go. Now, make no mistake, you will be in the best shape of your life. Everyone there is in incredible shape. But you have to be careful because the women there are so strong that if you have a love interest and you start to have sex with a person who does CrossFit and you put your ding dong in there, and then at the key moment, she's going to, contract her Kegel muscles, and it's going to virtually rip your dick off. You got to be very careful with these women because every muscle in their body is incredibly powerful. You know, it's bizarre. And even ugly chicks in CrossFit have great bodies. They're all butter faces, you know. Great body, butter face is ugly. Tyler says, think of it like a dick guillotine when you're having sex with CrossFit chick. Aram says, that was when I was trying to be the best at exercising. It's true. But, you know, I could never do the pull-ups, the stupid kipping pull-ups, and it got to be a pain in the ass. God, fucking enough. Weighted vest? What are you hoping to do there? Jesus. So they ended up evacuating everybody. Holy shit. Place is going to blow up. And then they didn't say that they found the guy because the dickhead probably wound up running. He had no idea. How'd you like to be the guy who was running around in downtown Kalamazoo with a weighted vest? And then you hear on the news later in the day that happened. You're like, oh my God, was that me? CrossFit Kalamazoo opens at 4 p.m. All right. If they were open right now, I'd call. All right. Story of an NHL hockey player, a goalie, who has filed for bankruptcy. This is just ridiculous. Robin Lehner is a goalie for the Vegas Knights. He's not very good with his money. He's not playing at all this year because he has an injury. He's recovering. But when he plays, he's pretty good. But the guy can't keep his money. Now, he's making $6 million this year. And despite earning, I think he's earned upwards of $30 million in his NHL career. Yeah, career earnings of $30 million. In not that long of an amount of time. And his base salary this season is $6.5 million. Despite that, this dumb fuck has liabilities of $50 million. He spent every fucking penny he's earned and then some. So now he's filed bankruptcy. Is that not disgusting? Here you and I are trying to make ends meet. We can't even rub two fucking nickels together. And, it's a grind. Most people are in that boat. And this cock uses his NHL skill to earn that much fucking money, and he blows every penny of it. This perfect example of how he blows all his money. He decided to invest in a fucking snake farm. God, this story has so many twists and turns to it. That's right, a snake farm. He purchased the snakes from a world-renowned breeder And then shortly after he bought the snakes, see, he would call up the breeder and see. So he gets the snakes, and they're rare. And so he wants to breed his own snakes. So he gets them from the world-renowned breeder. He spends a ton of money. He drops $200,000 on his first payment for the snakes. Okay? And then he calls the guy back and, hey, I need to send you more money, and I need more snakes, and I need some info on these current snakes that I have for my own snake farm. And they said, well, you can't. You can't talk to him. Why? Because he's dead. What? Yeah, his wife murdered him. What? The guy he bought the snakes from was involved in a love triangle, and the wife and the wife's boyfriend killed the dude who owned the snake farm that sold him the fucking snakes. What? Yes. World-renowned breeder was murdered just a few months after the sale. Lehner, a two-time Jennings Trophy winner, and his wife filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in Nevada. The filing includes liabilities of up to $50 million and lists the NHL and the Vegas Golden Knights as interested parties. According to the New York Post, the goalie owns RL Exotics, LLC, which operates a reptile farm in Missouri. The reptile operations assets were valued between $1 million and $10 million, including 3 paid employees. The 2018-19 Masterton Trophy winner reportedly wound up in this financial bind after buying a collection of exotic snakes from breeder Ben Renick. The deal was for $1.2 million for all these fucking snakes. Lehner made an additional payment of $200,000. You know, I've heard about people with a lot of money being convinced to invest into stupid shit. I think Ted Nugent did that. Didn't he buy I think he bought a mink farm. All right, I don't see anything about it. Maybe he didn't. Or was it alpacas? He bought something fucked up. Yeah, make all your money in alpacas or minks. He only made the initial payment on the snakes. Lehner faced a lawsuit after having stopped payments. During this time, the Swedish goalie, who was open about his struggles with addiction and mental health, left a game with a panic attack. So he's not, all right, might not be stupid. No, he's probably stupid. So stupid, rich, an addict with mental health issues, that's a bad recipe. I tell you what, you blow all your money, now that's going to leave you to have a panic attack. Shit. If you're $50 million in the fucking hole, how are you supposed to perform as a goalie? Lehner countersued. He claimed that the snakes began breeding amongst one another in an unsupervised, uncontrolled manner. He said that he was out millions caring for the snakes and that their breeding caused them to lose value. Well, what the fuck did you expect him to do? The year after the sale, Renick was murdered by his wife and her ex-boyfriend. The case even appeared on an episode of Dateline. Renick's wife, the snake dude's wife, is serving 16 years for her role in it. Renner has not played a single minute this season because he needed hip surgery. Wow. Bad news. In his absence this year, the Golden Knights have found superb goalie work from rookie Logan Thompson. They're currently in first place in the Pacific Division. Enjoy your $60,000 a year in the American Hockey League. Robin Lehner. God, that's rough. So I don't know how bankruptcy works, but is it as simple as you just file it and suddenly all your debt goes away? How is that fair? Jesus. Well, anyway, dumbass isn't good with his money. $50 million in the hole. That is rough. All right. Hire me on Cameo, cameo.com/Eric Zane. I want to do a cameo for you. They're just $15, $15.99, and it's been way too long. Got somebody celebrating a birthday, maybe workplace achievement, education achievement, young or old, you name it. I want to do a cameo for you. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. Dirt cheap and the best on Cameo. Frank Fuss, My Policy Shop Insurance, 616-914-4070. No matter where you are in the U.S., with the exception of Alaska, Hawaii, Maine, South Carolina, if you have any insurance needs, reach out to Frank. He's an expert in all things insurance. He's helped me navigate healthcare.gov, and he can help you too. Whether you are self-employed, your employer does not offer insurance, or you are in between jobs, healthcare.gov is what you need to get your insurance. Have Frank help you, and his services are free. 616-914-4070. He's also the Medicare and Social Security expert. Absolutely phenomenal. I swear by Frank. Kent County Health Department. AccessKent.com/health. Information on the WIC program, immunizations, personal health services. All there. AccessKent.com/health. Advertise with Eric Zane. If you have a business and you want an audience to pay attention to what you do, reach out to me, and I will come up with a marketing plan for you that you can afford. Eric at ericzaneshow.com for more information. Like my friends at Blue Frost IT. Online at bluefrostit.com, 616-200-8550 for a quick fix or maybe an equipment upgrade at your business. Small, medium, or large, Blue Frost IT can help you every step of the way. If you are in West Michigan, consider calling Blue Frost, 616-200-8550. Finally, last in the lineup today, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. If you're in the market for a new home, get the mortgage before you start shopping. It's a weird time to buy a house, but you can buy one, obviously. 231-332-6505. Reach out to Mario today, and he can help you get that mortgage. Whether it's your first mortgage, your 10th, or you're refinancing to get some money out of your home to pay off a high-interest credit card, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage can help you. All right. Thank you, Ryan, for signing up with Twitch Prime. You're on a 3-month streak. Good for you. Josh writes, he's a goalie. Of course he has mental health issues. And then he says, I say that as a goalie. You're not kidding. Jared Coro, former Griffins goalie, was a fucking kook. Jimmy Howard. Cuckoo, cuckoo. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the asshole of the day. Brought to you by TC Paintball. Yesterday's asshole of the day was the butthurt Al Michaels for being upset at people for busting his balls about being shitty. We talked about guy stuff, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. We talked to Kyle. We talked about CrossFit guy shutting down Kalamazoo. We talked about goalie Robin Lehner. What the fuck else did we do? We went around the radio dial. But a good portion of our time was spent talking about this guy. I think this is a 2-time winner. George Santos is the asshole of the day. Fuck this guy. Holy shit, what a lunatic. My God, someone kick his ass, please. That is my time on the Eric Zane Show podcast. You are all fantastic. I will join you again on the Patreon bonus podcast a little later on. Till then, have a good one, folks. Thank you, and